Oh, well, hey, bitch. It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. We got to get into this Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Okay, girl, let's talk about it. All right, y'all. So they finally done dropped this reunion. The season has wrapped for the most part. We just got to get through these 4 parts of the reunion. Okay, now 3. And the first part was good. It was decent, right? I wasn't too mad at it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get into some things. It looks like the theme of the reunion was goddess party. So they did that theme with a whole bunch of pink and stuff like that. I feel like for the ladies, that right there should have been a giveaway for y'all to have known that Nicki Minaj was probably going to be there. Even though they gave them like a video clip of Nicki Minaj saying that she wasn't going to be able to make it or whatever. All that pink was for real, a dead giveaway. But anywho, so the first person Andy ends up greeting is Miss Gizelle. Then he goes on to greet Miss Candiace, right? Then he goes on to greet Wendy, and then Mia, then back to Karen, then Robyn and Ashley. So for me, I feel like the way that he spoke to these ladies is in the order of their importance to this season. However, Gizelle, for some reason, is always going to sit in the Nene seat for the most part because she's that quote-unquote girl of Potomac. She's in charge of the girls. However, the second person he spoke to was Miss Candiace. So why is Candiace sitting to the left of Gizelle when she had more of a storyline and a lot of other things going on than Gizelle did? And Wendy, why didn't she sit across from Gizelle right to the side of you, Andy? What was that about? I'm just shocked that Wendy, who only had 1 season on this show, didn't even have a whole lot going on this season, and y'all chose her to sit in that seat and not a veteran like Candiace to go over and sit in that seat, as much as y'all love to use Miss Candiace for a promo for upcoming things. Okay, just like this reunion, we saw more reactions and stuff from Miss Candiace than we saw from Miss Karen, and Miss Karen was giving a whole lot of facials, okay, more than what we saw from Miss Mia. Y'all heavy promo has come from Miss Candiace. Okay, she's been the entertainment. So why wasn't she sitting across from Gizelle instead of beside Gizelle? Shocking. Y'all can answer that down below. Let me know, honey. Clue me in. But we're going to go ahead and get into this thing. Gizelle, right out the gate, honey. We're asking her about her fashions, about her stylist. She says she has the same person that's been styling her from the very beginning up until now, and she's satisfied. And that's the problem. Okay? That's the problem right there, that you've had the same person. There is no evolution in Gizelle at all. Okay? Candiace, all right? Andy opens up and wants to know from the ladies, like, how they feeling about Gizelle's fashions. Candiace let her know, like, girl, listen, I don't always agree with your choices, right? So before she could even finish what she had to say, and first of all, let me say this. Candiace, you were beginning to let Gizelle down in a very, what's the term I'm looking for? In a very, delicate way, right? Let me unplug this so that I can give you guys better audio. 1 second. But my thing is, you were about to let her down in a very delicate way, and I didn't really like that. I'm like, stop being so delicate with this lady. Be harsh with her at times, because she don't give up about how she is with you. Okay, so there's that. Before Candiace could really finish what she was having to say, or was trying to say, Miss Gizelle let her know, well, girl, I don't always agree with your choices. And then Candiace was like, well, girl, what choices are there? Like, what's wrong with my fashion? Like, girl, what you trying to say? And Gizelle says, I can't really remember like that. You can't really remember like that, huh? But you always talking about Miss Karen, and you always talking about her old age and her memory and what she got going on, but you the person that can't remember that. I guess, honey. Anyway, Gizelle says she's fine with whatever she puts on her body. Karen says that we can't expect any improvement. And I said, obviously we cannot. We can't. So there's that, right? So then Candiace says that Andy asked her, like, how did you feel about Mia? Candiace goes on to say, well, I loved Mia at first, right? And then Gizelle, and she was about to say more, but Andy cut her off and then asked Gizelle. Gizelle says that she loved Mia and she loved how Mia owned her SHI. And Candiace said, girl, why you up here lying? Girl, why is you over here lying? This girl did not own everything. Girl, she even lied on you, and you want to sit up here talking about you love that she owns stuff. Oh, okay then. And then Gizelle says, well, why didn't you say all of this when Andy asked you first, right? And then Candiace said, well, he asked me about my first impression. Well, aside from him asking you about your first impression, Candiace, he cut you off before you even could elaborate on your thoughts about me. So there's that, okay? So that's why she didn't say everything she wanted to say, because he cut her off and went to your ass. All right, so there's that. Mia asked, what did I lie about? Because she wanted to know from Candiace, like, girl, tell me, girl, what did I lie about? Do we really have to tell you, Mia? You really gonna sit up there and act like you don't recall what it is you fibbed about, ma'am? Anyway, Mia tries to explain her surgeries, right? I think Candiace gave her a list of things that she lied about, right? Number one being like the clitoris and all that stuff, the work that she got down there in the vaginal area. Mia tries to explain. Ashley asked her, did you have C-sections or whatever? Mia says, yeah, I had 3 C-sections, because the ladies are trying to understand, if you had C-sections and they did not come out the vaginal way, what is all of this work you needed to have done to your vagina like that? And then she tried to say that her and G are very active sexually. And I'm like, girl, bye. Bye, Mia. It's okay if you wanted to get the work done just because you wanted to get the work done, because maybe you just don't like how your cootie twat look, girl. I guess, honey. But girl, don't be lying on G like that. We know G ain't getting down like that. The way G was up there falling asleep, girl, bye. You're not going to convince us. But anyway, Andy asked Mia, right? He asked her, Andy asked Mia about why someone would come and pay her thousands of dollars just to see her in a ball gown, right? And he asked her, where exactly is this located, this a strip club or whatever located? So Mia starts to laugh, right? First of all, she was kind of like trying to explain the fact that she would wear something like what she had on. She would kind of take it off. She'll have on her boy shorts or whatever. She'll have on her attire, but I guess she just wouldn't make it, she wouldn't be fully naked, but she'll have on her stripper attire or whatever. That's what she's saying. Y'all, at this point, I don't believe anything that Mia tells us, to be honest. I really fucking don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't believe, girl. She need more people. But anyway, so she says that's what she was doing. Andy's like, where's this place located? Mia laughs, right? And that gives Gizelle the perfect opportunity to step in and try to answer the question for her. Gizelle, sit your $5 clothing wearing ass down. Okay, until we can make some change out of the bullshit that you got going on. Sit down and shut up, because when it's time for you to address the things that's going on with you, dear, you never seem to have an answer. It's always, I'm unbothered, quote unquote, but you are bothered as fuck. Then you be like, I don't care, when you care a whole damn lot. Okay, you just don't want to show your emotions in front of these ladies because you're afraid of them, I guess, using your emotions as a way of having a leg up on you or whatever, girl. So sit back, shut up. You got so much mouth about what's happening with Mia. Let Mia tell her own story. Let Mia speak up for herself. She don't need you to try and speak up for her while you over there trying to recruit. Okay, you over there trying to recruit for the light-skinned bandits, ma'am. Sit back and hush, girl. So let that lady speak her piece, okay? Got so much mouth and so much to say when it comes to everybody else, but when it's your turn to speak on your own shit, you ain't got nothing to say. You can't recall events and shit. That's what be killing me about you, girl. So Mia, she finally admits to the fact that she was a stripper. Okay, Candiace questions that and wants to confirm, like, okay, so you were, right? So you were taking clothes off, you were doing this or that. And Gizelle is immediately ready to jump to Mia's defense. I can't. She's so ready to jump to this woman's defense. And it's so funny and it's so cute because Mia's gonna play you again next season, and I'm looking forward to it, Gizelle. Okay. Candiace says that Mia denied it at first because clearly Gizelle tried to shut Candiace down when she was coming towards Miss Mia. So then Candiace had to let her know, well, I'm just asking, okay? I'm just asking because Mia originally said one thing and then now she's saying another. So I'm just asking for clarification, dear sweetheart. Okay. So then Mia was asked about her mom. Okay. She says her mom is going to. So when Andy asked, like, how is your mom doing? How did your mom respond to her being a part of the show or whatever? Right. First of all, Mia never told us how her mama felt about being a part of the show. Okay. Firstly, she says, my mama says she's going to pray for Candiace. And I'm like, girl, your mama probably ain't say none of that because your mama probably ain't even watched this show. But okay. She says, my mom has my kids right now. Yeah, she has them right now. Yeah, you know, we've come a long way. And she has them now. And Andy is shocked like everybody else because your mama was just cussing and fussing and yelling at you to come get these mother kids because y'all had them with her for too long. And then now, you know, left them there with her now so you could come out and film this show. Girl, I can imagine what happened when y'all got back to the house. But okay. And now Mia was called out for being self-made, okay? Even though her husband gave her everything. Mia lies, in my opinion. Mia lies again and says that G is an investor, okay? He's an investor on another account, but there's, you know, but he's not an investor on this particular account that I have going on, right? But he definitely has invested in some things, you know, but he did not invest in this particular venture here. What was so interesting, and I don't even know if I have it, y'all. Let me see if I have it. I can't remember if I have it. What was interesting for me was seeing Robyn's face when Mia said this. When Mia said that, Robyn's face was like, like, that's not what you said. Like, and then actually her and Gizelle's face was looking like, what the fuck? Let me see if I have it. Yeah. So these are the pictures here. When this is exactly what Miss Robyn was doing when Mia said, oh, well, you know, my husband, he owns, you know, he is an investor, you know, on another one of our accounts, but he did not invest in this particular venture of mine. And this is what Robyn looked like. Now, why are you lying? Like, why are you lying? Even Gizelle made a face. This was the first face they made. And Robyn looking at her like, girl, and Gizelle wanted to open her mouth too and call her on her lies. Why you didn't call her on her lies while you up there trying to defend her so much? And then what Robyn ended up doing, Robyn just sat back. She was just like, okay, girl, let me just fix my dress, honey. And then that mouth of Gizelle's closed. Girl, I ain't got time. Anyway, no, this lady stood up here lying, but we didn't hear y'all call her out, but we more so heard Gizelle up there defending her at every step of the way. But I guess, dear. What else? Mia, she goes on to say, Andy asked about like the chiropractic offices that they have or whatever. And she says that her husband owned McDonald's at first. He owned a few different McDonald's and she owned a Massage Envy, right? And then says that he invested in the Massage Envy before they got married. This is what she's saying. Mia says Gordon helped her, but he didn't give her anything because she had to qualify on her own. And I'm just like, I don't even believe that. I feel like he did give you the money, but because you wanted it to be in your name solely, you had to go out and qualify on your own to have that business as a franchise owner. But I am pretty sure he gave you a good chunk of change so that you could get started. Okay, so I don't believe nothing that Mia says. It's just where it's at with me. Mia says, what else did she say? Mia is called out for her flip-flopping ways. One minute she thinks Gizelle has great intentions. The next minute she dragging Gizelle, saying Gizelle said this and that when she didn't say it. So what else happened? Giz wants to know if Karen was in her ear. Now, the first thing Gizelle said was, that's a lie. Whatever that was she was saying about, I guess, Mia or whatever. Gizelle wanted to know from Mia, was Karen in your ear when it came down to me? And what I did not like is when Gizelle asked this question to Mia, Mia did not answer the question, but allowed Karen to answer that question for her. And then turned around and said, we're good. We're good. No, I believe that Karen was definitely in Mia's ear, setting up the idea or the perception of Gizelle. And I can't say that Karen was right or wrong in that, but I definitely believe that she shaped the perspective of what Mia was going to see when it came to Miss Gizelle. I definitely feel like Miss Karen was in her ear. Okay. And Karen hurried up and hopped her fake ass up there and spoke her piece. And whatever, I don't even know what all Karen said, but I know she spoke up before Mia could. She said something like, well, you know, I'm my person, Mia's her person, she's gonna do it, she's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I'm just like, girl, and you gonna continue to lie. There's that. Let's keep going. Gizelle was asked about the commentator that she was dating, and she didn't want to mention who the name was. And then Andy said, well, girl, Wendy gotta know. Wendy has to know exactly who the person is that you know, were dating. And I feel like Gizelle said something like, he was gone or something. She said like no, basically. She assumed Wendy didn't know, and Wendy said I do know. So then when Andy said Van Jones, I don't know if this is true or not. But the way Gizelle said yes made me feel like she was being a bit sarcastic, like yeah, But it could have been Van Jones that she was dating, right? So then Mia says, not Mia, I'm sorry, Wendy. Wendy says, no, she's not his type. Andy said, what you mean she's not his type? She said he likes women with integrity. Oh, and let me tell you, that read was so good. Gizelle didn't know what to say. Gizelle was like, ooh, she didn't know what to say because she knew Wendy had her. She was right. So good job for you, Wendy, on that one, okay? What else did we learn? Hotel Gizelle still a mess. It's not coming together. Robyn stepped up. She tried to add her 2 cents in and help Gizelle out and say that it's coming along. The front part of the house is helping with the rest of the house, right? It's starting to make it look good. This is what Miss Robyn is saying. And I'm like, girl, we don't believe you. You need more people too. The house still looks just as raggedy as it did the day y'all went and sat on the concrete under a tent. Okay, for entertainment, honey. Let's move on. This is not the fair, but her house was. Andy asked Gizelle, when did she break up with Jamal? And then she want to ask, see, this is the shit that I'm talking about, right? She acting like she cannot recall exactly when she broke up with this man, but you can recall events regarding everybody else and what they got going on. You can recall that, but you can't recall exactly when you broke up with him. I guess, girl. So then, yeah, she said, I don't know, it was sometime like last year. Oh, no, it was this year. I think it was like the beginning, maybe the end of January. It was after the holidays. And then it's like she was asking the questions like somebody else would know the answer for her. No, we asking you, what is it? What is it? Anyway, I don't believe what she's saying. Let's move on. Wendy says that her story doesn't make sense. It's not making sense to me, Andy. She needs more people. She says that Jamal says he was in a relationship. And she says that no, Wendy said Jamal did a video last year and said that he wasn't in a relationship. He was single. Okay. And then Gizelle said, well, that's not how I took that, dear. I took it as him saying that he was single, as in he wasn't married. Now, what Gizelle said is actually true. Okay. There was a video that surfaced on Twitter, the flashback from when Jamal had his own binder. He sat up there on social media. He was referring to him not being married. He was not referring to him not being with Gizelle or him just being single and not being with her at all. He was just saying that he was single, meaning if you're not married, you're single. Period. That is true. That's what he meant. And that's how she took it. Okay. Gizelle goes on to say, which was a highly confusing, which is why I ain't gonna say I see why she keep her mouth closed, because she don't be adding up. But make sure you got your own facts straight about your own life before you sit up here and speak about everybody else's. Okay. So then Gizelle says that the binder from last year wasn't new information. It wasn't new information, which was interesting. But like whenever the ladies say something, you try to deny what they're saying. If they bring up anything regarding Jamal, you try to deny or act like you were privy to it, or you already knew what was going on, or you knew this, or you knew that. You try to deny stuff, which don't make sense to me, because you slick confirmed that he cheated on you, even though it was weird. It was like, oh, that happened a long time ago. That wasn't, with me and Jamal. I already knew about that. That like we've already talked about that. Like that's nothing. But then you sat up there, and as they asked you more questions, you kind of told on yourself and admitted that you knew he had cheated on you. But it is what it is. So Gizelle says that the binder from last year wasn't new information. Karen calls Gizelle out for being okay with basically being another woman. So you knew about the binder incident. You knew about the incident and stuff based on what was in that binder or whatever. So that means that with you being aware of that, you were okay with being the other woman. And Gizelle almost slipped up. And that's what I'm saying. She almost slipped up. And then she said, well, we were seeing other people. Well, we were trying to figure things out. Y'all was trying to figure things out. Girl, you not making no sense. You was okay with being the other woman. You was okay with him cheating on you. Yikes. And if that's how you feel, then just own it, girl. But you won't be trying to own it. But anyway, so Giz was then asked, why is she so vocal about others' relationships and not her own? Praises be. Let us know the answer. We're listening. America is here. We're listening to you. Please dive in and tell us, dear heart, please. Okay. So Gizelle says, that's not true. What's not true, dear? You have had so much to say about Ray and Karen. You've had so much to say about Ashley and Michaela, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. You've even had a few things to slick say about your own friend Robyn and her situation with Juan. But then when it comes to you, you want people to handle your shit delicately, privately, and you want to be selective with how you roll your information out. What? And when somebody asks you about your shit, hey, Scholar, how are you? When somebody asks you about your stuff, you want to be, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk in front of these ladies that are coming off as though they are, haters and, pumpkin eaters and all this other stuff is what you like to say. But then you'll sit up there and slick embarrass your friend and tell her how undesirable she is to her husband when it comes down to what she got going on with Juan. You will say that amongst the group, but you don't want nobody to talk about what you got going on amongst the group. You're whack. That's fake. You're whack. Okay. Candiace tells her it's not, because when Gizelle says, no, I do talk about my life. I do. And then Candiace said, no, it's not to the same amount of vulnerability. Like, we understand that Candiace cries a lot, right? But at least Candiace shows emotion, girl. You don't give us a thing. Okay. You don't give us a thing, girl. I can't. I can't. So then Wendy tells her that she doesn't speak on it because if she opens up, she would break down. And I don't care what nobody say. Wendy was right. Wendy was accurate in that. And then Gizelle says, girl, you do not know me. Okay, so y'all notice how she got an attitude then. And when she did, girl, you don't even know me. And then Wendy said, girl, you don't know me either. So what's up? You don't know me either. And I was here for it because I'm like, the fact that she got so, girl, you don't even know me. That right there lets me know that Wendy hit the nail on the head. She hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is, girl. Because if you talk about it, you know that you're going to break the down. Okay. Andy asked Giz when she lets Jamal back in and he cheats on her. Wendy added multiple times. Here goes Gizelle. Gizelle says, which Wendy is obviously excited about. No, she's not excited about, but she's calling out the facts. He's cheated on you multiple times back then and more recently. That's a fact. Okay. So there's that. I don't think that Wendy was like happy about that. I think she was just calling a thing. But it bothers you though. It bothers you. It does. And it should. He cheated on you more than one time. Okay. So, it should bother you as much as you like to act unfazed. Let me see if the little cat back out here on my porch. Okay. Because I saw her earlier. These little strayaways. Girl, did she bend my... Girl, I'm going to have to check my thing. Like she done bent one of my things back. I don't know who she belonged to, but she need to go. Anyway. Let me keep going, girl. So Andy asked Gizelle if she cried when she found out that he cheated on her. Gizelle says no, she didn't cry. So y'all know how like last season she tried to play it off like it wasn't, like I already knew about that. Like that was nothing. That wasn't really going on with when it was us. And to me, how it came off as though she was trying to make it seem as though they didn't break up for cheating or anything like that. They just fell apart as if he never cheated. But then as you hear her talk, she kind of admits to the fact that he did cheated on her or whatever by saying no, she didn't cry when she found out he cheated. She admits that Jamal, in my opinion, cheated on her again. That's what I put. Karen tells her if she could get to the place of emotion, if she can get to a place of being emotional or just showing emotion and sharing her story the right way, she could win. What Karen is saying to Gizelle, to me, is saying what she was saying is that Gizelle, girl, you're on mute. And you don't come off as relatable to the fans at all. People love to see vulnerability, and they also like to see things that they can relate to. And at this time, you're not giving any of that. You're just coming off as just emotionless, and like you're just a stalemate. just a stalemate. And I think that if you let people more into your life and not trying to control that narrative so much and just show that you're human, because everybody goes through things, and seeing how you overcome it, you probably could help somebody else instead of sitting up there being like so stalemate about things. Maybe people would like you more, okay, because they can't stand you because you don't show that part of your vulnerability. You don't show that part of your life as much as you may think that you do. You don't show that, but we constantly see you in different ways of trying to, throw stones at what somebody else got going on when it comes to their relationship. Right? You've done that with Karen and Ray. You did that with Ashley and Michaela. You also did that with Candiace and Chris. Right? So y'all are good because Gizelle won't be coming in my mother's house. I'm sorry. Like, girl, no. Gizelle, she has always said something slick about your mama taking care of your bills, okay? And slick talking about your husband too. And she did it again when she was over there chit-chatting with your damn mama, right? So she wouldn't be in my damn house. Y'all a great one. Y'all a great. Her ass would have been outside on that concrete just like she had us. Like, girl, no, man, you're not coming in here. No, ma'am. So let's move on. Robyn jumps in and says that people should understand that everyone handles things differently. She's absolutely right. They do handle things differently, but also because you handle things differently, understand that you're not going to give a whole lot, right? Because you handle things differently. So don't be out here prying and being all into other people's business when you don't want nobody to turn around and return the favor to you. Okay, so that if you want people to honor and respect how you handle situations as far as your relationship and how you may not want to share as much and how you may not want to show your vulnerability in this and that, then stop asking that of others, period. So then I wasn't gonna bash Robyn about her opening up her mouth and defending Gizelle then, because I feel like for the most part Robyn did sit quiet. She spoke up for Gizelle regarding the house and she spoke up now, but for the most part I feel like, Robyn, girl, you said quiet for the most part. Okay. Now Wendy jumps in and says, Robyn, girl, she said something to Robyn, and Robyn said, oh, you're just jumping in everybody's conversation. Okay. She said, you're saying something to everybody or saying something about every single thing. And Wendy says, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Wendy, you know what she's saying though. Okay. Now, although I love that you were getting in Gizelle's ass, please know that you have been jumping in a lot. You have. Okay. There's that. Now, gets to Karen. Karen is asked about why was she shaming Gizelle for like not having a man or anything. Like, what is that about? Karen says that she wasn't shaming Gizelle for a man's behavior, right? She says that she was shaming her for her own behavior and because Gizelle is a grown woman and she knows better, okay? She says that Gizelle went back to a man that she knew she shouldn't have gone back to. Karen says that she thinks Gizelle wanted to go back to what was familiar and not wanting to put in the work for a new relationship. I do agree with Karen on that, but I do feel like you were not taking digs at Gizelle because of her behavior. You were indeed taking digs at Gizelle because she does not have a man, because a lot of y'all find y'all value in the fact that you do have a man, even if he is a trash ass man. Y'all be so happy just to say that you got a man, and the moment that you get a chance and you feel like that's a leverage over somebody else, that's the first thing you'll spew out, which is, well, where your man and why you ain't got no man, why you da-da-da-da-da-da. No ma'am, girl, you was wrong. Okay. What else? Gizelle opens up about the fact that she was very robotic. Okay. She says her kids can get like a very robotic person from her. Like she could be very robotic because for her, she says that was like a survival tactic. That's a survival tactic for her. And she pretty much was admitting that that's her defense mechanism. That's how she operates. And I am glad that Andy kind of, mentioned that. I'm like, yeah, because that's what it is. It is like a defense mechanism. So Gizelle has definitely been through a lot, but you've persevered. So why would you not want that to be a part of your story? But okay, so Karen is asked why she clowns Gizelle for not having a man. Karen lies and says that she did not. And I'm like, you did. Stop lying. You did. Okay. Karen is great with words. Okay. And just because she done upgraded her hair, her face, and her fashions, people just go up for Karen as though she can do no wrong. But Karen is a liar, and that make no mistakes about it. Okay. There's that. Karen was about to lie until Andy was like, well, you did kind of say this or that, and then she was like, well, let me own it then. But mind you, Karen never owned it. Karen never owned that she, you know what I'm saying, said that, like, yeah, girl, I did say that. What she did was she took it and threw it back off on Gizelle. She said, I needed therapy myself because, Gizelle, I've taken a lot of stuff from you over the years. And I feel like Karen was right when she said that, though. I do. She has taken a lot from your ass. From you and Robyn coming over to her house to see if she stayed there and delivering some damn pizza boxes. Okay, ringing on her doorbell and shit to see if she stayed there, to coming over there to that event and wearing the damn Ray outfit on with the back or whatever you said on the back, to other shit that y'all have done to this lady. So, yeah. Okay, y'all have definitely given this lady hell over the years, okay? It was interesting that Gizelle is reminded of how she's treated Karen over the years. And this is the issue that I have with that. I really have no issue with Gizelle being reminded of her actions over the past few years. I have an issue with Ashley not being reminded about how she's presented herself on this show over the years. It's like everybody seems to forget that. Okay, having babies don't erase that shit. Sorry, it don't. That's who you were, and that's who you still have the potential to be. Okay, so there's that. Also, I don't understand why people don't remind Ashley that she too was a disaster on Twitter. Candiace got the heat for tweeting you because you were about to have a baby or you were in delivery or whatever, but ain't nobody clown you for being a disaster on Twitter with her, knowing that you're at the hospital finna have a baby. Make this shit make sense for me. Okay, now Gizelle, moving on to her. She's asked about Jamal and these $800,000 worth of taxes that he owes. Gizelle said, oh girl, this ain't got nothing to do with me, so I don't know why y'all asked me anything about that. See, she ready to write it off and act like it's done. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So Karen was quick to remind her and say, girl, you were still married to this man at that time, dear. You were. So it could possibly come back and bite you in your ass, right? And then Gizelle started saying, no, it can't, baby, because I bought a house, honey. I bought a house, honey. I have a house. I bought a house. So even that was Gizelle saying my taxes were paid because I was able to buy a home, all right? Because all my taxes were cleared up. So that has nothing to do with me, right? Got it. She also, I felt, was slick throwing shade to Karen because I don't think Karen owns the house that she is in right now. Okay, I don't think Karen owned that house. So I feel like she also was letting her know, like, girl, I own my house. Like, girl, don't be worried about me, honey. My name is on the house that I got, dear. What else ended up happening? Andy tells her that it does have something to do with her. Okay, this does have something to do with you because it indirectly affects your children. And Gizelle couldn't really say anything. All she said was, I'm fine. That was her trying not to acknowledge it, but I bet you she gonna go back and double check with her accountant to make sure that she can't, this won't come back on her, which it possibly could because Karen ain't lying. If you was married at that time and they didn't catch it then, but they catching it now that he owes so much money, they may dig into your records too, girl. Just like they over there digging into Miss Erica Girardi. They got her husband first, and as they did some digging, they turned around and they realized that, hold up, $20 million went over here to Erica Girardi. Where this money at? You see what I'm saying, girl? So even though her situation is not taxes, it's more so about him frauding his clients. But still, when the research happens, then girl, yikes! I wouldn't be surprised if next season we saw an article saying that Gizelle owes X amount of percentage of this $800,000. I wouldn't be surprised, Shy. But let's go ahead and move on. A scholar comes out looking as good as she wants to look. Period. Okay, a scholar comes out and was asked about her fashions and how she would love to make over Gizelle. Andy said, do you have any comment for that? And she says, nothing. And see, that's the problem, but you got so much mouth for everything else that was going on. Everything else that was going on. Okay. We get the Candiace segment, right? So it's time to talk about Miss Candiace. Okay, now, Andy has rat-a-tat-tat-tat Candiace entered the building. Candiace said, we'll see. We will see. I hollered. It was the calmness for me, or we will see. I just might have to turn up on a jump in here, but I don't know yet. It depends on how they come at me. We shall see. Period. What else is going on? Okay. What else happened? She's asked about her record deal. Y'all know she signed with E1, who's now Monarch. So that's working out. Quite a few of the ladies have listened to the album. Gizelle says, I listen. It's like, I listened to some of it, a majority of it. It's like, Gizelle, shut the fuck up. Candiace, pay attention to who to the right of you. And pay attention to the fact that that hoe ain't right. Like, pay attention to this, ma'am. Because she ain't featuring you for real, for real. Oh, I can't wait till we get her together next week. But anyway, so Gizelle says she listened to the majority of it. And I said, Candiace, that ain't your friend. Let's keep going. So Andy asked it about Chris, right? And he asked the dumbest question, in my opinion. Okay. He says his skills seem to be in the kitchen. So why was Chris qualified to be a manager? And I personally felt like that was a dumbass fucking question. Mia's skills seem to be in a fucking strip club. So how does she qualify managing businesses that her husband has given to her? Wendy's skills happen to be a commentator on TV and being a professor. So what the fuck is it about her skills that qualify her to be a candle maker? Like, you see what I'm saying? You see how that's not making no sense, how that's not adding up? Andy, you happen to be an executive producer of the show. So what the fuck made you qualify enough to even have a show that you host called Watch What Happens Live? You know they're not paying the rent. Like, that was a dumbass question. People are allowed to change professions. And see, that's the fucked up part that y'all got. Because for me, it's given back in the day. It's given back in the day when your family would stay on the job, your family members would stay on the job for 20, 30, 40 years to retire. You got me fucked up. If I don't like it, I'm not going to stay nowhere. And thank God times have changed, because ain't nobody got to stay nowhere, especially if they feel mistreated, or just not even that. Even if you're not feeling mistreated, you just want to evolve and try other things. What the fuck is wrong with him wanting to try out being a manager to his wife? And I'm sure he's not going to stay her manager over time as she grows. I mean, how many artists still have the same manager? It's not many. So I just felt like that was a dumbass question that he asked, but that was me. Okay. There's that. Candiace lets him know that Chris being her manager is more about him managing her more than it is, managing her music, meaning, making sure that she knows, hey, you got this appointment coming up, you got that appointment coming up, like, make sure you're good over here, you're good over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so much as him, like, literally, like, managing her music. But whatever it is, I just feel like Chris can do that if he fucking wants to. If Chris decides that he doesn't want to own a restaurant anymore, and he decides that he wants to go be a UPS driver or whatever, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. I'm confused. That for me, that was just a dumbass question. All right, somebody over here working in whatever type of corporate office and decided they don't want to do that shit no more, and they want to go and be a writer and start writing books. You have the right to do what the fuck you want to do. That's not making sense, but okay. So then Candiace says that she is paying Chris in love, and then Mia jumps out with these whack ass reads, not giving absolutely anything. I'll take a yo mama all day long. Okay, before I sit up there and listen to this bullshit that I had to listen to talking about something. Mia says, getting paid for sex is a prostitute. And I'm like, that makes no sense. And then I think Candiace says, yeah, you would know. And then Mia says, yeah, I only speak on things that I have experience in. And then Candiace says, yeah, being a hoe. Hilarious, hollering, screaming, because that did not land how you thought it was going to land, Mia. So who are you actually calling the prostitute? Because you're not calling Candiace the prostitute because she's not the one being paid. So therefore, you're trying to say that her husband is a prostitute because he's receiving money from his wife if she is paying him, and then she says she pays him in love. See how that read didn't even connect? Yeah, no. That's not going well for me. And it definitely didn't go well for you. What else we got over here? And then I'm like, and if that's the case, Mia, your husband finances and pays for your whole lifestyle. Girl, he gave you a whole business. So what kind of prostitute is you? Girl, he done went beyond just giving you coin. He done gave you a business. He done invested in the business. So what kind of prostitute is you, Susie Blue? Okay, now Ashley speaks on Chris riding on Candiace's coattail because that was the question. Ashley, you continue to sit quiet, okay? Continue to sit pretty, continue to sit quiet, dear. We didn't really need your thoughts at this time, but she decided to add them. Ashley tries to say that Chris is drinking more. Candiace is like, no, girl, that's a normal behavior, okay? But Candiace did agree with Ashley that, when the pandemic hit, I guess Chris lost his restaurant, and I heard Candiace say true. or whatnot. So she was agreeing with some of it until she starts talking about the drinking, because a lot of y'all have said this, but I didn't catch it throughout the season, how they were trying to show damn near every episode we saw Chris, we saw him with a drink in his hand, which is the same thing they tried to do with Shamia, I believe. And Shamia didn't like the fact that I'm sorry, not Shamia, but Shamari DeVoe of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she didn't like the fact of how they were trying to play her out to be somebody that was only drinking, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all she does. So that's what they were trying to do with Chris. And then Candiace say, no, that's normal, dear. Okay. Now Ashley says that Chris isn't the same person that they've met in the beginning, and neither is Michaela. Ashley, knock, knock. Who's there? Knocking on the noggin. Who is there, ma'am? What about Michaela? Because he damn sure ain't the same from what we met until now. Hello? Even though y'all trying to make him look as good as y'all can with these goddamn babies you got. No, ma'am. Okay? What about Michaela? Girl, I can't. Ashley, you shouldn't have been out here speaking on nobody's husband. You should have been zip locked. And Gizelle, you had better shut up. And I'm glad that you was quiet, girl. Oh, let's go on, honey. People ask if Candiace's mom is helping her. No, her mom is not helping her. People wanted to know whether or not her mom's name was on the deed. I know you guys would love to believe that. I know you would love to believe that. But the deed actually was exposed at the top of this year or the end of last year when Candiace bought her new home, okay? The deed was already put out there. Her mama's name was nowhere near on that deed. It was only her and her husband's name that was on that deed. So, yeah. Y'all would love to hate on the fact that even if her mama's name was on the deed, which it ain't, and that's a part of generational wealth. See, y'all never make any sense when y'all be saying that y'all be saying because y'all don't like nobody. Y'all just sound much more dumb. It just doesn't go together. That's what generational wealth is. Okay, even if her mama name was on the deed. Okay, so she can be able to pass that down to her child and take care of things for her child. Okay, so that she wouldn't have to worry about things as she gets older. Hello? Girl, I wish my mama did have her name on my mother. Did I tell you that right now, girl? I be listening. You can pay all these bills, and I don't know a mother out here that wouldn't love for their parents to have some long money and still be out here taking care of bills that they ain't got to take care of. Hello? But y'all love to preach about that and love wanting to say that people should have those things. And then when you see people that have those things and they've acquired those things, y'all get mad and then y'all try to discredit them. It makes no sense to me, but okay, good luck. What else? Let's see. Dorothy implies things, right? Dorothy likes to imply things, and she implied the fact that I guess she was still helping out Candiace and Chris and stuff like that. And I'm like, Dorothy implies this BS because she wants to share in the fame that her daughter has gotten, right? She wants to be a part of that type of life that Miss Candiace got of, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Miss Dorothy thinks she a housewife, and you're not. That's why when she come on the show, she be understanding the assignment as far as being messy as hell. But I just feel like when that's your child, you should never want to embarrass your child in general, nor on television at that. Okay, so that was Miss Dorothy was foul, you know, for what it was that she did to Candiace and to her husband, because at the end of the day, that's who she chose. And you got to respect that. And right now, this man is hanging in there with her. This is her road dog, okay, until both of them decide that it's over. Right now, they in it. Just because your first marriage did not survive, and the fact that you sit up here, you mad with her daddy, that's on you. You need to let that go. Then you go get remarried and stuff. Girl, why you coming over here trying to SHI on your daughter? That makes no sense. So, what else? Gizelle tells Candiace that her mom went to everyone and talked SHI about her, which she did, which she was wrong for. She was out of the line, okay? She said, your mama went around and talked to all of us about you and your husband. So why are you mad at us? Red flag on the play, red motherfucking flag on the play. Gizelle, she was never mad at you. So why is you including us in this? She was primarily upset with Miss Mia, a person that don't know her husband, don't know her mama, and felt the need and comfortable enough to inquire about whether or not her husband is getting paid. No, she wasn't mad at you. She was upset with Mia for doing the most. And Mia, you just like everybody else saw that Miss Dorothy was doing too much. A scholar is new to the group, just like you. And a scholar even saw that for what it was and was like, oh, girl, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. So why didn't that click in your head for you as well? I don't want to have nothing to do with that. And see, the reason you asked that question about whether or not this man was getting paid was because that's how you value your worth, based off of money. And you just want to see whether or not these women can really compete with you. Like, is he like, how is he getting paid? He ain't got no money. Is she paying him? Do Candiace got any money? Like, you just wanted to see where she was financially, I feel, so that it could be another dagger for you to be like, I got more money than you. You broke a hose. Because you a bitch that ain't never have nothing before. Yikes. Let's keep going. What else? What else happened? Let's see. Candiace is asked about how Chris felt about everything, right? Another thing I want to highlight before I go into this, Gizelle, when you mentioned that, you know, why is Candiace upset with you or y'all? She was never upset with y'all. It was primarily Mia, even though she should have been upset with y'all. My issue is that she never gets upset with you. And that's my motherfucking problem, Candiace. That's my problem with you, Candiace, is you don't hold Gizelle's feet to the fire, no matter how many times this lady has disrespected you and indirectly put you in direct bullshit, okay, to have the heat come down on you or for you to be attacked by another cast member, okay? I don't understand that. And you never give her that action. That situation with Ashley that happened in the house when y'all got into the argument and you picked up the butter knife because you told her to leave. Gizelle brought this lady back into your house, and you never checked Gizelle about that. I never saw. So that's what I ask of you as well. Number one, I need you to sit back sometimes, like Chris said. Unfortunately, you need to sit back sometimes, and not that you should let anybody beat up on you, because you shouldn't. You need to read these hoes accordingly every single time, because ain't nobody gonna say nothing when they read you. So do you. But at the same time, I want you to sit back and make these hoes work for their check. Make these hoes work for their check and make them be promo sometimes, because they riding off of you. But you need to get with Gizelle. You need to get with Gizelle. You better not be speaking up for Gizelle. If her road dog finna be Robyn, let Robyn speak up for her. You better not speak up for nothing else. Not a damn thing. I'll let that shit play out how we need to play out. I'm here. I'm Team Candiace. I'm looking out for myself. Like, that's the action that you need to be on. For sure. Like, I can't stand it. She don't read y'all as Gizelle how she need to. She never showed that she upset with your ass. Girl, it's upset, but you're upset with us. Girl, bye. She wasn't. Okay, Candiace is asked about how Chris felt about everything. This is when she begins to cry because she says that he's hurt. Because her mom's talking down on him. Then her mom, she gotta go around her in-laws who watch the show and see how disrespectful her mom has been towards their son. Like, that makes this even more complicated. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, her mama wouldn't like that. If Chris was on a reality show and his parents came on and said whatever they said about her daughter, she'll be ready to throw down. She'll be ready to go to war for Candiace. So she has to understand that that's foul. And Candiace up there crying about she don't know what to do. And I'm like, what you mean you don't know what to do? She says she cussed her mama out. I hate to say it. I love you, Mom. I love you. But I'm going to have to love you from afar until you learn how to respect me. Period. Respect me and my household. Period. I know you want to be involved. I know you want a certain place in my life. But you no longer have that. Okay, I'm taking care of my own bills. I got my own house. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I got my husband. We're making it work. So you're going to have to find your place in the position that I've given you now. Because the position you had, you don't got that no more. And it's just that on that. Like, and I'll just have to fall back. Like, I love you. We could kiki, we could talk, whatever. But girl, it's gonna be limited. And I feel like sometimes people think just because they're your parent, they have the range and the right to disrespect you, and they fucking don't. I don't care nothing about that. Especially when you're old enough and you over here paying your own bills or whatever. And you grown as fuck. Like, you not finna talk to me. No, I don't give a fuck about none of that stuff. I love you. You my parent. But people be holding on to that parent and they be holding on to that family shit just a little too tight. Okay? Just a little too tight. Okay, so if I'm not gonna let nobody else walk around and talk to me no any kind of way, you not gonna do it either, and you're not gonna talk about my man no any kind of way. We're not gonna do that here. Okay, my decision has been made. You're gonna have to live with it, deal with it until the fallout happens, which it ain't happening. I don't plan on it happening anytime soon. So what's going on? Yeah, you check your mama, put her ass in her place, and hit her ass with the Heisman. I'm sorry. Life is definitely short, but because life is so short, your mother should recognize that it is. Hello? And she should know how to treat you better. Period. I don't give a damn about all that shit. Okay? So there's that. Mia says that she would have thought a real friend like Wendy would have told her that her mom was being messy. Wendy said, "You talking? Girl, shut up." I was like, "Yes, girl. What's up? Okay, shut up. Okay, I'm glad she hit her with that shut up, girl. Shut up." And then it's for me, it's Mia that be saying this slick ass shit. And when people get with her, she want to turn around and be like she want to make faces. Like, you want to do face? For what? Girl, she got with you. So be quiet. Don't be acting shocked when you be saying slick stuff and don't be expecting nothing back. Be quiet. All right. Sit up there and control your nerves, because you know this is your first reunion and you really shook. Okay. So control your nerves. Calm down. Okay. What else? Anyway, Candiace says that her family will never be the same because her mommy is messy as fuck. Okay. So you got to hit her with the Heisman is my response. Mia is asked about calling Candiace's video shoot low budget. Mia was mad that no one greeted her. And I'm just like, Mia, she's never been on video shoots before, you know, and it don't always like work like that. Now, granted, Candiace, I will say that you could have possibly sent out a text or had somebody send out a text saying, "Hey, y'all, we're running a little behind, but we will be there shortly." Had you said that, I think they all would have understood, because I think it was more than Mia that was just kind of like sitting around kind of wondering like, okay, what's the next steps? What's what? But at the end of the day, girl, you mad that somebody wasn't there to greet you enough for you to call her video low budget? No, that's how Mia views people in general. She views a lot of people as low budget. Even when she sat up there crying, was it when they was at the not Williamsburg, but whatever house it was for Wendy's trip, she wasn't even crying about her mom. She only felt bad about her mom because y'all made her feel bad. And then what did she do? She dropped I made $400,000 a year. Like, where the hell that came from? Well, you're supposed to be crying and you're supposed to be upset. Where did that conversation come from? And then earlier when you're talking to Gizelle and then like, I only have time to talk about business. So if it's not about the money or the business, then I don't have time. See, that's how Mia views people. She views people as low budget. And when she says things like this, she says it to hurt other people because she finds high value in that. Right? So Candiace got with her ass, okay? Period. You want to call my event low budget because that's really how you view me. Then your mama. So what's up? Your mama low budget. So what we doing? So what we talking about? Your mama low budget. What else is going on? Your mama's a thought. What's up? What's up with it, dear? What else are we talking about? Girl, period. A lot of y'all be around here talking about your mama, but when Candiace said it, y'all want to be upset. Girl, I'm not hearing nothing about it when your mama has been a staple around the Black communities for many, many years. Girl, so much so they went and created a whole show surrounded by your mama. Okay? And it was on for like 3 seasons and y'all was thoroughly entertained. Let's be very clear about that. Your mama, your mama, your mama, your mama. Yeah, and we still ain't seeing where Heavenly Feet has been held to the fire. And when I say held to the fire, because a lot of y'all feel like, no, Andy didn't like when she said it, or Mariah didn't like when she said it. I'm talking about so much so that y'all made an overall outrage. I haven't seen an overall outrage or protest on Twitter or nothing about Heavenly said your mama. And Heavenly been saying it for how many years now? Before there was a Candiace, there was a Heavenly. Your mama. Your mama. Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going. All right. So I hope y'all get real comfortable because this is going much longer than expected, honey. Candiace says the goal is not to pander or cater to the extras, which is fact. It don't really matter what type of set you on, whether it's a big set or it's a small set. Okay. I've been an extra on a few things. Okay. And it's not always them catering to us. Very rarely, who I will say, okay, cared enough about the extras, girl. It was Tyler Perry, baby. Hello, because the food, hello, the food was on point, breakfast and lunch, and it was good. Okay, and went on different days, and it wasn't always the same thing. So Tyler Perry, y'all may feel a way about his content, but that man will feed the people. Period. Okay, you will be treated as everybody else. Whereas some sets, they'll probably give, you know, extras. You got to sit outside, girl, it's cold, but you're gonna have to sit under this tent with this little heater. You can't even get in no trailer to warm yourself up, girl. In addition to that, no, y'all get the little sandwiches that with the hard bread and stuff over there. Meanwhile, you got the cast and everybody else over there eating cuisine and stuff like that. No, it's not always about the extras. It's really never about them. I've been on Tyler Perry, and it was another big show called Heels or something like that. That ended up coming out, and girl, that food was on point, and they cared about us, girl. We was able to roam the set and everything. That wasn't like stay over here, do that, da, da. It was like laid back, and you could tell that budget was very big. Okay, so there's that, but I mean, you know, it's different strokes, different folks, right? So I mean, girl, different strokes, different events, different different budgets, okay, and so there are quite a few budgets out here that were like Candiace's. So it is what it is. And if you're coming as a friend, you should know and understand that the budget is not going to be that high. And she's working with what it is that she has. Mia, girl, I can't. Let's keep going. Candiace says that she does not know about Mia. She did not know. So the question came up, Candiace, did you know about Mia's mama? She said, I did not know. I believe that Candiace did not know. Okay, I do believe that she did not know about her mom, as she said. She says, had she known that her mama had dealt with the trauma that she dealt with, she wouldn't have mentioned it. Candiace, I don't believe that. I feel like Candiace is gonna say whatever she wants to say, period. Okay, there's that. And I don't disagree with her with that either. I don't at all. I don't disagree with that, girl. Your mama. So what else is going on? Karen see that Gizelle is a mama and still said her attacked her mental health and said something about her box. Body shamed her. So your mama. Okay. Yeah. So Mia says that, well, she didn't even have to have trauma for you to say it. Mia, this is my main issue with you, girl. Is the fact that not only do you lie, aside from you being a liar, that's one. It's the fact that you sat up there and you did not care about what was being said about your mom until the other ladies made you care. And you realize in this moment, oh, I can ride this out. I can ride this out. Okay, but then let me ride this out. Then let me just and she better be glad. She better be glad because you know she makes my mom relapse. I'm gonna be on her ass. Like, girl, bye. Miss me. Miss me. So Candiace says in the Black community it's called Joni. It is called Joni. And I already told y'all they created a whole show around it. That's how major it was within the community. Candiace tells Mia that she was going light. This had me hollering. Candiace says, I was going light on your ass and you were being ungrateful. And I wish I was just on set because I would have been screaming. Do you hear me? Told this lady she ungrateful. Andy said, so she's supposed to be grateful that you calling her mom low budget? And then Candiace said, what the fuck I'm supposed to say? What am I supposed to say when she coming at me? Meaning how I'm supposed to feel. Am I supposed to be feeling grateful that she called my fucking project low budget? No. Okay, so you get what you give back. So how would she have, like, it would not have mattered what Candiace would have said was low budget. Everybody would have been upset. If they would have said, Mia, you're low budget. So what else is going on? You shouldn't have called her low budget. Mia, your husband's low budget. What else is going on? You shouldn't have called her that. Mia, your business is low budget. What else? Why would you attack her business, Candiace? We don't cover each other's businesses up here. Like, it wouldn't have mattered what the she would have said. Y'all would have created some bullshit. So there's that. Okay, that's why I hollered. Okay, what Candiace said, I was going light on your ass and you were being ungrateful. Okay, girl, I need to say that to somebody, manager. Girl, I was going light on your ass and you being ungrateful. Now I sent you the email. Okay, now you want to come over here to my desk. I was going light on your ass. Okay, but see, you was being ungrateful, girl. Straight fired. Let's keep going. Candiace says, what am I supposed to do when she talks down to me? Gizelle tells Candiace that she didn't like her actions towards Mia was justifiable. Candiace asks like, what actions? And then Gizelle says, your mouth. Okay. So this is what Gizelle saying, your mouth. What else do I have here? Because Gizelle didn't like the fact that she called her low budget or whatever. I'm just like, Gizelle, bye, girl. I don't want to hear shit out of Gizelle Bryant's mouth. When it's time for you to truly speak about the shit you got going on, you can't say anything. Okay, so I don't want to hear anything about you. I don't want to hear your mouth about Candiace's mouth. Okay, because you don't even really use your mouth. So there's that. Candiace says, if I want to respond verbally, hello, welcome to the stage. That's what we do. I said, welcome to the stage, BIT, because that is what we do. We've done it on so many other shows. Hey, Nene, how are you? Hey, Sheree, how are you? Hey, Kim, how are you? Hey, Kenya. Hey, Portia. How are you guys? Hey, Marlo, what's going on? Yeah, because they paved the way for everybody to be sitting up here talking how they want to talk up on here. Okay, but then y'all want to sit up here and talk about somebody's mouth. Y'all hosts could never hang with the ladies of ATL. For sure. Could never. And to be honest, hey, Mariah, Married to Medicine, how are you? Hey, Quad. Hey, Mariah. I'm sorry, Heavenly. What's going on? Y'all couldn't even compete with them because y'all just, oh my God, the way that you said what you said. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't. Y'all act like Candiace damn near attacked her the way that Lisa threw that damn glass in Quad face and damn near cut Quad, I think. Girl, what was the outrage then? I can't take it. All right. So then Andy asked Candiace, how is your mouth working for you? Andy, I don't know, baby. Let's ask you, how is her mouth working for you? Because you have been using her for promo on everything. So please let us know, how is her mouth working for you? Let us know. The people are waiting. Yeah, let us know, because Candiace is the main one keeping the kids interested watching the show. Let us know, how is it working for your pockets? That's what we would like to know. Okay, how is Benny Boo eating? Is that what the baby's name is? How is he eating? How is he doing? Okay, please let us know how her mouth is working for you. Let me know how Erica Jane's mouth is working for you, because she's very disrespectful towards you, as well as her cast. And you sat up there and you witnessed her call something a cunt and everything else that she said. But where was the outrage? Where was that at? Where was that? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Miss Teresa and how she be showing her ass over there. Okay, on her network. Let's talk about how people's mouths are working. When y'all stopped the whole damn reunion over there on New York just because Eboni K was getting wit hoes and their racist. Let's talk about that. How is it working for you, Andy? How is everybody else's criminal history working with you as you keep them on the show? How is Michaela Darby working for you? But you want to ask this girl about her mouth. Let's ask this man about his hands. Let's ask him about his hands. Let's ask him about violating others. Let's talk about those things. Where are they? Let's have a conversation, Andy. Come to the front. The people want to see you. Let's talk. So then, and then, yes, how about Nene, Portia, Kenya? So what about their mouth? Girl, anyway. So I feel like that was a dumb question. Andy says that Candiace almost, this was the interesting part, when he said she almost got attacked. Like, it ain't no almost in it. You almost got into a physical altercation. So it's the fact that you're trying to sit up here and gaslight this woman and make it seem like the incident that happened last year never happened. You almost got to know it ain't no fucking almost. It's what it was. That's what it was. It's what it was, okay? Candiace asked, so it was my fault? It was my fault that I was physically attacked last year? And then he gonna tell her she the common denominator. You're motherfucking right, Andy, she is. You know why she's the common one in the arguments? Because motherfuckers come at her. So if they choose another target, then Candiace wouldn't have anything to say to them hoes. Do you hear what I'm saying? But to be honest, the true common denominator is Miss Gizelle, and some of Miss Ashley over there as well. That's the common denominator. Candiace just be sitting up here responding. Candiace, you went and you started to, what did you say? First of all, I didn't like how Andy tried to rewrite history with the term almost, okay? And then going around saying that she was the common denominator. No. You're saying she's the common denominator as though she was provoking and she started the incidents for them to happen. No, but she damn sure responded to them, and they don't always like the response now, do they? So there's that, okay? What else did I want to say? it was something else I was gonna say about, I can't remember. I'm gonna get to it though, because I know it's in my notes. But it's interesting to me that y'all kill me on Potomac and how y'all think y'all are so prestigious and so high and mighty for me. Because it's 1 minute y'all don't like the way that she used her words, but before it's I don't like how you're talking. It's we're not people that represent, violence. Like we don't hit, we don't do any of that. Y'all don't want people to use their hands when it comes to disagreements. But then when they use their words too strong, y'all don't want them to use their words too strong either. So what the fuck do you want them to do? Which one is it? You don't want them to fight, but then you don't want them to use fighting words or trigger people with what they say. Which one is it? What do y'all want them to do? What you want her to just say, Mia, that wasn't really nice of you to say. No, don't call me low budget, Mia. I just really don't like that, Mia. I'm just trying. What do you want her to say? So Mia could just say what she want to say? Yeah, no. That's not how they go. Because Karen ain't finna sit up there and let Gizelle say whatever she just want to say. Karen gonna get right back with you. So what else is going on? Y'all not making sense. So what else? I think, did I have this in here? Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, I do got it in here. Okay, so let me keep going. Oh yeah, because I was gonna say that about Candiace. Had Candiace slapped Mia ass with a glass in Gizelle words, I would have been like, oh well, fine, it's okay. Because obviously that's the behavior that y'all are condoning, right? Y'all condoning that type of behavior when just last season y'all wasn't condoning that behavior. 1 minute you don't want people to get physical with each other. Then the next minute you feel like their words are too harsh. Then how do you want them to respond? So if she would have slapped her ass with the glass, then it would have been fine because that's what y'all like, right? Oh, okay. Right. So then Karen says something about like nobody's better at reading than she and Gizelle, because Candiace said just because I read better than y'all want to find it to be an issue. She do read better than y'all. Like the shit be comical, the shit be funny. It evokes emotion out of people. People respond, people react, they go crazy. So yeah. Karen, don't hype yourself up, dear. Y'all, you and Gizelle do not do it better. Y'all don't. Sorry. Care damn about what anybody say. Stop hyping yourself up. That's a negative. What else? And I'm looking forward to us getting to the moment where you, Karen, chose to use your mouth to body shame and attack Gizelle's mental health. I'm looking forward to that. Andy calls out the butter knife incident with Ashley. Ashley's trying to remind Candiace of what happened. Like, you remember when you did this and you did that? And here's the thing, Ashley, you should have never came back into her motherfucking house, period. So you were out of line and you were wrong, but who was at the height of that? It was Gizelle. Come back in, Ashley, come back in. Candiace, that's who you should have cussed out. Now, yeah, Ashley deserved it, but you should have got with Gizelle too, because Gizelle was out of line. And had Ashley had that knife, and it was a butter knife. That's the gag for me. Everybody up here acted like it was a sharp ass butcher knife or something. It was a little butter knife, girl. If it was even real, and it wasn't a silver one, girl, it was a butter knife. Now, had it hit you and pierced you just a pinch, because it would have been a pinch, girl, you would have been in wrong, because when somebody asks you to leave their property at this point and you come back in, you're trespassing. What else is going on? Anyway, what else we got? Ashley focusing on the forehead comment instead of focusing when Candiace said, you brought your wide forehead or your big face back into my house after I asked you to leave, right? Instead of Ashley addressing the fact that she left out this lady's house and she came back in, Ashley chose to focus on the fact that Candiace mentioned her forehead. So she says, our forehead are the same size. No, there is an image floating around where people are comparing both of the foreheads and they're using these two lines. No, ma'am, because for me, I feel like they are at Candiace's face is more closer to the camera, whereas Ashley's is far away. So they're not even in the same dimension, to be honest. But I did come across this one that I liked, and I thought that I'd share it with you guys. This is them actually having a seat at the same spot, okay, on the reel. And whose forehead is the widest? It's sad. It's unfortunate. Ashley has the bigger forehead. It is okay. All right, girl, accept it. Your forehead big, it's huge. Let's move along. People talk about Candiace hiding her forehead with her baby hairs. Girl, you could barely see the baby hairs. Girl, from this, we could see both of their hairs were slicked back, pulled tight, and we still see who has the bigger forehead. It is what it is, girl. Let's move on, okay? What else? Andy asked, why is he waking up to people telling him that Candiace should be fired? I don't know, Andy. Let's ask you, why are you waking up and only focusing on Candiace when people have been telling you to fire Erica Jane because she's a liar? Okay, and she's disrespectful with how she speaks to people. Okay, they may not have been as many tweets as Candiace has gotten because everybody loves to hate Candiace, but I'm sure people have hit you up about Erica Jane. People have also, I'm sure I have hit you up about Lisa Rinna, who ain't been giving, and she's highly disrespectful. She sat up there and yelled at Garcelle, and you ain't check her and ain't say Nathaniel, but I guess you feel like that's okay because you chose to yell at Candiace like that shit was okay. You're trash. Who else? Teresa Giudice. I'm sure people have told you to let her go. And then I think Ramona has been the problematic person from what I'm hearing over there on New York. Are you going to let her go? I'm probably not. But you guys decided to dismantle the entire reunion and not have one because Eboni K decided to file a complaint against her mother. No, if Ashley and her husband can continue to sit up here on this stage and be filmed, y'all should have continued to have that damn reunion. But it seems like you like to move and change things for the people that you like or something. I don't know what that's about, but don't be sitting up here asking this woman, why are you waking up to people saying you should let Candiace go? Well, they're saying that because of your mouth. What? You sound foolish as hell. Make sure you keep that same energy with everybody when you be doing these reunions. That makes no sense. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. You ain't even fired Ashley and what she got going on over her husband. And I'm sure people have hit you up about that. You didn't even care enough about your own production crew that you kept this man around. Like, girl, let me keep going. Gizelle calls her out for throwing the lettuce, right? Candiace threw 2 pieces of lettuce and says, Gizelle says that it was salad. Candiace says, no, it was 2 pieces of lettuce. She says, well, based on what I saw, if Mia would have clocked you, I would have been like, okay, right? You would have been okay. But then last year, you felt like it was such a major issue. We don't condone violence. We don't operate like that. You're changing us into a group of ladies that we aren't. It was all a big deal. But then now you want to sit up here and say, well, if she would have clocked you, I would have been okay with it. And then you also said something that was very key for me. You sat your big face ass up there and said, oh, well, from what I saw. But then what did you see, Gizelle? Because you obviously did not see when Mia was putting her hands in Candiace's face multiple times. So if Candiace would have picked up a glass, like I said, and clocked Mia's ass in her face, I would have been okay with it. Because that's what we condone, right? That's what we went, right? Based on what you and Andy have said, and including what took place on last year. You guys were telling a different story then, but now you're telling a different story now. So what you're saying now is how you really feel. That's what you're saying. So if she would have got clocked, it would have been okay, according to y'all words, right? But Andy, you just sat up here and did a whole promo about how y'all don't condone violence. Ain't this how you ended up leading off the reunion last year? Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to say, okay. What else? She watched it based on what I saw. So you saw it, but you ain't really see it. So you really saw what it is that you want to saw, because obviously you done made a good friend in Mia, because it seems like you trying to get Mia to be team you so you can get her off of team Karen. Because the feud between Karen and Gizelle is going to continue to go on as long as the show is on. Oh, okay. So yeah, like I said, I'm disgusted with Gizelle. Okay, the same behavior that she didn't condone last year, she's condoning it now. All right, so when that action comes towards you, we want you to be okay with it, okay? Should Mia feel the need to clock you or anybody else on set, I want you to be okay with that, all right? Okay, now basically when Wendy told you that you will get your SB, should Wendy actually follow through with that, I want you to be okay because you condone that. Okay, Candiace let them know that she is always responding to them, and then she tears up. So this is what I wanted to say earlier, and it kind of slipped my mind. Candiace, why are you crying? It's no need to cry when you write. It ain't no need to cry when you write. I don't know what kind of heat you was feeling in that moment. I don't know what that was. You didn't want to be chastised or whatever it was, criticized or whatever, but it's no need to cry when you write. Period. So you need to nip that in the bud. Gizelle says she wants her to edit herself. Gizelle, we want your ass to speak on your own shit and not everybody else's. Can you do that? So when you start doing that, then we can get Candiace to edit herself. Are we even? Can we do this together? Yeah. Candiace says that she has an issue with Mia. I said, call it. Call the issue. She says that she's trying to put her mother's sobriety off on her, but that's all on Mia. And I agree 1000%. I saw a lot of y'all sitting up there saying, well, she's saying whatever these YouTubers are saying. Well, whatever she's saying, she's absolutely 1000% right. And only a person that don't like her that's going to try to find fault in what she's saying is going to say, well, you got that, you know what I'm saying? You copied from what they said. I don't know if that lady was already thinking that. She probably was already thinking that, and we just all happen to say the same thing. She's watching the show just like us. But did she lie? She didn't. Girl, that is not on Candiace. That's on you. You brought your mama on this platform. And then go tell me something. My mama wanted to tell her story. And then Candiace said, girl, it didn't seem like it. It didn't seem like it because that's not what it was. Your mama didn't even want to talk about some stuff. But you want to sit up there and say you brought your mama on the show to talk about because she wanted to tell her story. What story do your mama need to tell when the show ain't about her? What she need to tell? What your mama need to talk about when the show ain't even about her? You brought your mama into this. They didn't interview your mama and ask your mama to be a real housewife of Potomac. They interviewed you. You brought your mama in on this mess. Girl, so if anything happens with the relapse, that's your fault. Nobody else is on that set. No fans, no, that's you. Because you opened those floodgates for her. What else? Mia says her mother wanted to tell her story. I read all of that. We know she lying. I'm not dealing with her. Let's move on. Okay. I think that's pretty much how the show ended. It was a good show. It was a good show, I have to say. Yeah, that's all I got. They gave Miss Mia the first few minutes of the show where they read her on. You know, where he asked her, he drilled her, and then he gave Candiace some of the end. But we know they're going to pick it up probably next episode with Miss Candiace again. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad they get Miss Candiace out the way so that we can probably focus on some of the other ladies like Karen and Gizelle, Wendy and Gizelle, Wendy and Robyn, Robyn and Juan, and Ashley is still coming yet again, not giving absolutely anything. But that's all I got, honey. I ain't got no more. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. If I come up with something else and I want to say something, I'm probably gonna do and another thing. Okay, y'all know how my and another thing video goes. If something else slips up, comes to my mind, y'all may get and another thing. That's all I got. I'm Jamie, that's me, honey. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.